Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Black Princess. Well, Diamond Princess now. I hope everybody is doing fine and they're staying safe and away from the protesters because it's getting really crazy with all these police killings because right now the police department does not care if they kill a black man or a woman or not. They're going to keep doing what they're doing because this country was built on racism. So, just to tell y'all the truth, racism is not going to go nowhere. To be honest with you, it was always going to be here because that was the foundation of racism. And racism has also made its way to the entertainment industry, jobs, and other activities. The entertainment industry has been racist towards Black people ever since Hollywood came around the 1930s, I believe, especially against Black women, because that we are Black and we women, Hollywood would never have us had a leading role. We will always play the mammy, the help, the ghetto Black chick, you name it. Because when I was growing up as a girl, hey Lord Tavitt, oh, okay. How was it? How was her live stream? But anyways, when I was growing up as a kid in the 90s, I saw Black women, getting feminine roles, whether it be in Black movies, white movies, and other leading roles. But most of these roles in the 90s that Black women would get, that she has to be ghetto, loud, Black, ugly, and nauseous. But as far as that go, Black women always got the end of the stick when it comes to getting roles where we can show our femininity and that we can be a dazzle in distress, because that is very rare in those movies that we do get those roles. And when it comes to the music industry, there are Black women that are very talented, that can sing, that can dance their butt off, and they can perform real well. But due to the color of their skin, being a Black woman, whether it ranges to my shade or darker, we are not considered the standards of beauty. So what has happened is we are left at the end of the stick. At the end of the stick again, nobody wants to promote our music. Nobody wants to promote our look because it's not the look that they're going for. And they believe that if you're closer to white, you're going to get promoted much faster. Or if you be just light skin, you go get all these endorsement deals. And which is true, by the way, because I've seen a lot of Black singers that are my complexion, darker, did not make it in the industry. And don't get me wrong, there are few light-skinned women that did not make it either. But as Black women, we do not see our image in the music industry. We see light-skinned women as Carly B, Beyonce, Rihanna, and some other light-skinned singers that do blow up in the music industry. And I believe that's wrong because you are telling Black girls my complexion on down that we're not good enough. Our hair's not good enough. Our features are not good enough. If we don't fit the white standard of beauty, then we're not accepted. We're at the lower class. There was like a recent the magazine that came out for, I think, I can't think of what that magazine is, but as of last year there was a woman that was considered the most beautiful woman of the world, and her name is Gigi Hadid. Gigi Hadid was considered the most beautiful woman in the world because of her features, her hair, her skin tone, you name it, her eyes. And and there was another European woman behind her, and followed by Beyonce. So that tells you right there that there was no woman, my skin tone on down, that was on the top of that list. What they're saying right there is that dark-skinned women are not attractive enough to get on these magazines to be the most beautiful women in the world. And to that I say, forget you. I don't need somebody to tell me that as a Black woman, I'm not beautiful enough to be considered beautiful. To be honest with you, these magazines can't speak for everybody. And I believe they want Black women to feel low about themselves and people to find us unattractive, which is very wrong. It's wrong because no magazine is gonna sit there and say that er- almost everybody don't like Black women. Black women are not attractive. That's not true. There are non-Black men that are married to Black women that love Black women. They like our culture. They like our style and our features. And they like our essence because we have an outgoing personality. And to be honest with you, most non-Black people don't like it when a woman, especially a Black woman, has an outgoing personality. They believe that Black women should be feeling low about herself, have low self-esteem, think negative about herself. Hi, Omega Cordy. Thank you for coming. Sorry, thank you for coming. They just want us to feel bad about ourselves. They expect us to, feel low about ourselves because we're not getting much media attention. When a Black woman does show her confidence and she feels good in the skin that she's in, people are turning their heads and saying that this girl should not be confident. While she feeling confident about, she's not even in the higher arctic. I'm just stumbling all over the place. Sorry. She don't even. She's not even attractive. So why is she feeling good about herself? And the reason why she feels good about herself because she don't give a shit what other people think of her. What other people think of her does not mean that other people find her attractive. There's other people that do find her attractive and does like her outgoing personality. So, yeah, get those diamonds and those crowns up. Hey, get those diamonds and those crowns up. So, this music industry has been very racist and colorist towards Black women specifically because we're women and we're Black. we don't fit the European standards of beauty, and that we should not be considered to be the standard of beauty. There has been a lot of controversy facing racism. A lot of people are coming out, especially other celebrities, blasting other celebrities for their racism that they said a few years ago. And these celebrities that are being exposed, they're coming out and they're apologizing and they're whining and they're crying because they got caught in their mess. And now they're apologizing, saying, "Oh, I did not mean to say that. I'm sorry. I was young and dumb." But it doesn't matter. If you was of age, like let's say you were a teenager or an adult, you knew what you were doing. That means in your mind, you knew what you were doing well enough to put stupid posts out there and thinking you can get away with it. I'm sorry to tell you, but this is how people get canceled, is because they're not watching the words, what they're saying. Leanne from Little Mix is one of, these women to come out and say she was facing racism in the music industry. Leanne is a Black woman, and she's in the group Little Mix. For those of you that don't know who Little Mix is a singing group from England, and they are known for their music like Black Magic, Salute. Who's that other one? They have all, like, their songs are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, like, I love Black Magic. I think Black Magic is a good song, and Salute is very woman empowered. However, Leanne just came out recently and she blasted her managers and her label for being racist against her. She has stated that they told her that she has to work 10 times harder than the rest of the girls to group because she is Black. She was always pushed in the back of the group as well because they don't want her to showcase her talent. And the same thing goes with Normani. Normani is from the group Fifth Harmony. I don't know if you guys know who Fifth Harmony is. They're good. They have songs come out like Boss, Work, and other songs. She also faced racism while she was in the group. And not only by, people outside the group, but within the group. Normani's former bandmate, Camille Cabello, sent out a tweet mocking her appearance and calling her racial slurs. And her whack-ass fans, Camille Cabello, whack-ass fans, came out of the woodworks and co-signed on her tweet and mocking Normani, saying that, oh, she's an N-word, she's never gonna make it in the music industry, she's too Black, and all kinds of racist things that they said to this woman that she doesn't even deserve to be treated like that. And another thing, when Normani was being interviewed, the interviewer told Normani, what does she think about Camila Cabello? And she told her truth. She said that Camila Cabello was quirky, which is nothing wrong with that. There are people that are quirky out there and are very funny. And once again, her Bananarama fans came out of the woodworks and started attacking her and attacking her looks. And this has been going on for a while, and her bandmate, from what I know, has been racist towards Black people for a while. And I'm glad that she's getting exposed for this, because she has been problematic from the beginning. If you guys don't know who Camila Banana Fofana, I don't even care who she is, Cabello, she was also in the group Fifth Harmony with Normani. She had a song called Havana. She had another song. I don't even know. I don't even follow her. But I hope that her music career does not flourish. As Black people, we need to stop listening to her damn music. We need to cancel Camila Cabello. She is not what she sings. She is jealous of Normani because Normani can dance, she can sing, and she's a great performer. She outshines all the members of the group in Fifth Harmony. Listen, she outshines the group, okay? And Camila Cabello does not like it because she's jealous. She always been jealous of Normani. Normani wears the best clothes, and she has a great shape. And Camila Cabello can't stand it because she's not like Normani. She doesn't have the shape. She don't wear the best clothes. She suck as a dancer, and her singing, she sounds like a rat. Where did I put that water? Anyways, yeah, so it's time to cancel Camila Cabello and these other racist celebrities that put out tweets attacking Black people, especially Black women, because as Black women, we get attacked the most. So it is so sad that we have to come out and protest and for all these tweets to come out, because right now everybody's getting doxxed. The celebrities, everybody's getting doxxed. They're coming out. It doesn't matter if you tweeted something 7 years ago. If somebody screenshotted that mess, they're going to bring it back in your face. Once you put it out there, it's out there for everybody to see. And I'm glad, everything is coming to light, because Camila Cabello should not be where she is today. And I'm glad Leanne from Little Mix called her out on it. And she even said, after all those racist things that she has said and that came out, she still went to the Grammy Awards. It's like, what the heck? What is wrong with these people? And this goes to show you that this entertainment industry is so racist. It really is, because they allow colorism to flourish. And not only that, certain Black men in the industry also play and contribute to colorism in this industry. the most talented women. She could be my skin complexion on down. She could be the greatest singer. She could be the hottest dancer, and she can tear up the stage. A black man would look over that, and he will look over at the light-skinned black woman, and she could be less talented, and she could, and she could, and she sings like a horse. But if she has the body and she's pretty, oh, don't worry about it. We got autotune. Most black men contribute to colorism. They don't want to admit it. They want to say, oh, it's because she's not talented. No, she is talented. They're not pushing her, is because she's a black woman. I hope black women, you know what, as black women, we should have our own record label, because it was time and time again we get discriminated against, and our music is not pushed out there like it should be pushed out there. And I think it's time that we should be supportive of each other, and push ourselves out there and help each other elevate, so we can get to the top, so people can see our music and our voices can be heard. But with the music industry, they would try to put, push us back, because they don't want us to flourish. They don't want us to become the standard of beauty. But I hate to say this, but black women are coming up, and there's no stopping us. So black women, we should be supporting Normani. She, her music is so good. She has music like motivation. Um, she has a lot of music, but she should be having more music coming out sometime this year. Hopefully by August, she should have something coming out. Last year, motivation blew up. Like, everybody on YouTube was doing Normani style. They was doing the hair, they were doing the clothes, they were doing her dance on that motivation music video. I tell you, like, people, she's inspiring people already, and she's barely a new solo artist singer. And she also did a collab with Meg the Stallion called Birds of Prey. No, wait a minute. No, Diamonds Are a Girl Best Friend. It's on the Birds of Prey album. And that shit hit #1. We should be supporting Normani and trying to elevate her to stardom. We Normani, let me tell you, Normani has the potential of a Beyonce. She is off the wall. She has that potential to rise up and become a mega superstar. But to tell you the truth, there's too many black people that we're too jealous of each other. I'm not saying that we will support nobody, but there's too many crabs in the barrel mentality. We do not want other black people to make it. And that's not fair, because there are black people that do want to improve their lives. They do not want to be in the same situation as other people in their communities. They want to get out of their situation. They want to make it. And we should support each other, especially Black women, because right now we have nobody. I'm not saying that's completely true, but from what I know, we basically don't have the same support as Black men do. And as Black women, we need to come together and support each other, support Black women artists. We need to support each other and be there for each other, because as of now, Black men, most Black men, they're not out there to protect you. They're right now, they are killing Black women at a higher rate now than it ever was before. There was a recent video of a Black man bullying, I think it was 2 or 3 Black men bullying a Black woman and then throwing her in the trash can. There is another Black woman who was killed by a Black man after going home from protesting. She was shot and killed. And there was another Black woman that was killed in the protest, and she was pregnant. So as Black women, we need to start supporting people that do not support us. We need to let people know we mean business. The more we support each other, the more we can grow out here. It says the white liberal sorry, I put myself on mute. The white liberal media loves to protect Pookie and Ray Ray, but not Black women and children. Exactly. We don't get the protection that we need in our community because our men are not in the homes. If your man is not in the homes, then that leaves Black women and children vulnerable to get attacked. And that's why I say that defunding the police is a huge mistake. Because once you defund the police and there's no fund coming in, they start laying off people, they firing people. And that's just limits the police department numbers, because they will only have certain police officers go out into the communities, to certain communities, and protect that community, which is going to be the wealthy elite. They're not going to protect the low income people. When we going to need the police, because most low income people are going to need it the most, because there is going to be an attack on the Black community. If there's not gonna be any police protecting, then there's gonna be hell raised on Black women. We're gonna get killed in higher numbers. And this is why they should not defund the police, but fire the police that kills another person. They should be fired. You should not defund the police officers that are trying to do good and trying to help out the community. DE funding or getting rid of police is one of the most dumbest and dangerous thing I have ever heard in my life. Exactly, it is dumb. It is so dumb that I can't even wrap my mind around it. Like, what are these people thinking? These are not level-headed people, if they were to know what defunding means and what it has impact the police, people when people gonna need the police are not gonna come, and there's gonna be certain calls they're not gonna come for. And Black women, we're gonna be, getting it the most. I don't even know why there's Black women out there protesting in the first place. Black women who are protesting are making a big mistake. They don't realize that once the police are out the way, there's gonna be more. They're gonna get killed more because we don't have protection in our communities. They just attempted to steer the conversation away from reparations, period. I don't know. You might as well forget about reparations, because if we don't get it, if we don't have reparations right now, we're never going to get it, because we're too focused on defunding the police. So all that defunding and all that stuff, no, there should be people talking against defunding the police. I agree that certain police that goes out of line should be fired, but they should not defund the police altogether, because they need guns, they need weapons, and they're gonna need more police cars, because there's gonna be more crime out there in the communities. There's gonna be people stealing, killing, raping, you name it. It's not a good look right now, especially in the Black community. If I was Black women right now, go get you a gun and practice in the shooting range. Practice shooting, because there's going to be open season on our ass once the police are defunded. Excuse me for a minute while I go get like a bottle of water. Please excuse me. And then I will open up the phone lines for you guys once I get back, okay? Give me 1 minute. Sorry about that, you guys. I swallowed the water too fast. I was thirsty. Okay, so I'm going to open up the phone lines. I'm going to open up the phone lines right now. Lord Tavik, if you still in the chat room, or Omega Courtney, please pull up my number, please. If you have it. If you don't, then I'll post it. Whew. Yeah, I drank too much water. Omega Courtney. Ooh, I drank too much water. But if either of you guys have my number, well, anyways, let me get it out. I can get it out. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I just put the number up. Okay? If you guys want to call in, be my guest, please call in. You guys are more welcome. Don't be shy. You know I don't bite. I don't bite. So if you guys have your opinion on what's going on in the industry, please give me a call, give me your opinion. Thank you. But yeah, so this is very, very, I hope, with all these riotings and all these protestings around the world, because there's racism happening in London too, and in certain European countries, there are racism. So I want you guys to call in the, yeah, so, whew, okay, so, yeah, so I just hope that this whole rioting and racism go like change the way things are run in this country, because I don't like to face racism. I don't like to face colorism. Because if we're going to face the issue on racism, we should also tackle colorism as well, because colorism, it also goes hand in hand with racism. And I ain't lying. We should we should also focus on colorism as well, because colorism is a big issue, especially in the Black community. We don't want to talk about it, but it is a big problem that Black people do not want to face, because they don't want to admit that they have a colorism problem. They don't want to admit that there is self-hatred. It's fine, Courtney. You don't have to call in. I just, ask, people to call in if they can. But there is a big, big issue with colorism in the Black community, especially from Black men, because Black men seem to perpetuate it more openly than Black women. They broadcasted specifically saying that they prefer light-skinned women over dark-skinned women, which is fine. But at the same time, why would you put down dark-skinned women just to say you like light-skinned women? If you like light-skinned women, that's fine. Don't put down other people of darker hues just because you don't like that specific color. It's not going through. Try again. Try again, Leonard. Because my phone line is open. It shouldn't be. Um, you want? I can stream in if you will like that. Oh, okay. Do you want to come on the panel, Courtney? Is that what you're saying? Because that would be nice. If you can't call, hold on. Let me get you the invite. Hello.
Hey, Diamond Princess.
Hey, Lord Tavik. How you doing?
Doing good. Oh, you know what? You put in the chat 9577. The number is actually 8577 because I just called on that number that I called.
Oh, I typed too fast. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, because I was calling 9577 and it wasn't going through, but when I called the other number, it went through.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just, I'm just so focused, I'm very passionate about the topics I put out there. And once I focus on one thing, then I start messing up the other thing. Because to tell you the truth, I'm not a multitask person.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, it dawned on me about Hollywood and what you were saying, and it really amazes me that these Hollywood celebrities. There was something I saw on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Where Hollywood celebrities have raised $20 million to protect and bail out these rioters and losers. The rioters and looters, I should say.
You have a right to call them losers, because that's what losers do. They destroy things. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But they raised $20 million for these rioters and looters and losers, but $0 for the victims or the owners of the businesses that these losers have burned to the freaking ground. And it amazes me that these Hollywood celebrities are more interested right now in protecting these parasites rather than doing right by black actors and actresses in Hollywood. So what you're seeing from these Hollywood celebrities is all you need to know what their priorities and their agenda is. And that's why they really should be called Hollyweird, because they're really out of touch with the common man and common woman, let alone common sense and decency.
Yeah. It's just, when it comes to, because now that, I'm seeing in the late 2010s, I seen a lot of, when it comes to black movies, I see a lot of light-skinned black women getting the lead roles as the love interest or as the damsel in distress, while the black dark-skinned hue women, she gets the ghetto fat loud chick.
Oh yeah.
and she's unappealing.
Yeah, not to interrupt you, I apologize. But yeah, it's either that what you said, or in these music videos, either by these R&B artists or these rapper crappers, they portray the black woman as a beat in a hoe or a stripper. You got vile music videos that have come out. The one that Nelly did years ago called Tip Drill. That was disgusting. Then you had another one that the Cardi B and the City Girls did, and it was called Twerk, where you had nothing but dark-skinned black women, twerking 100 miles an hour. It was really disgusting, and it just goes to show you the lack of respect, and the fact that it comes from these black folks and these black R&B artists, these rapper crappers. But yet, if you're a black woman and you display any interest in dating non-black men, or if you're a white man and you say, "Hey, I love black women," then all of a sudden it's a freaking problem, and it's on like Donkey Kong. I mean, the hypocrisy and the disingenuousness is really just ridiculous.
It is. Omega Courtney, I send the link if you can. You click on the link and you can join the conversation. But you're right, Lord Tavek. It is two-faced for for one race to date outside their race, but the other gendered can't do that, and I find that very hypocrisy, as you said. Because everybody should be able to date who they want, because this is what black men want black women to do. Stay loyal. Wait for me. I'll come back for you. Because if they see a black woman go outside of her race, she's seen as a traitor, and she can't.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'll give you a classic example. When that movie Queen and the Slim came out, when it was about that about a black couple on the run, and about that black woman, giving up her life of being a warrior to be on the run with this a black man who shot the police officer, and they were just loving the actress, loving the actor, and then as soon as it came out that the actress in real life is married to and is about to have a baby with that white actor who used to play on Dawson's Creek. It was just amazing to me how they turned on her with a quickness, and all of a sudden, they were all up in their feelings, and if this would have been, a black male being all about black love in the movies, but in real life sleeping white, then it wouldn't have been a problem. But because it was a black woman that did this, then all of a sudden it was a problem. I just found that hilarious.
Yeah, I find that hilarious too, and it's not fair, to be honest with you, because you can't tell the black woman to wait on you. And here's the problem: most black women, I hate to say this, but we're so delusional, because we will wait on our so-called black kings, and we will wait until we hit our 40s, and we're still not married, we don't have kids, and now they want to divest, which is okay. You can still divest, but as far as children goes, that's a little bit too late. You waited too long.
Exactly. Oh well, Omega is saying in the live chat that she can't see the link.
I resend it.
Yeah. Because you posted the link, but I saw that Omega said she can't see the link, so hopefully Omega can see the link, and then she can either call up and talk with you. But you're right, the Diamond Princess. The hypocrisy is ridiculous. And if you see these Hollywood celebrities, and you see Hollywood right now, they have no interest in doing right by the black actress or the black child. It seems like all they care about is spending millions of dollars to help rioters and looters, and not anybody else.
Right.
Just like all this to fund the police bull crap, okay? I guarantee you these Hollywood celebrities and these uber liberal politicians that are peddling this insanity, they're not going to go without armed security guards. They're not going to go without any armed police escorts. They're just wanting to screw us, the little people, out of protection from criminals.
Exactly. And here's the thing, Lord Tavitt. That's what Hollywood wants. They want black women to take these lower roles, because this is what the stereotype was in the beginning. They want to portray black women as masculine, as loud and angry all the time, which is not true. There are black women that are feminine and do want those feminine roles, but Hollywood would not give us those feminine roles, because that's not what they want to portray the black woman.
Well, yeah. Well, not to really veer off the subject too much. The thing is, the white liberal is the biggest enabler of, dare I say it, Blackistan. And Blackistan doesn't want to see black women, in feminine roles, damsels in distress. Blackistan and the white liberal wants black women to be these, masculine Wakanda warriors,
Oh, hell no, not me. Not
Oh,
me.
I know, but that's what the Blackistan and the white liberal media establishment, white Hollywood wants the black women to be, which I find to be ridiculous because black women have every right to enjoy the same, benefits of life as any other group of women. I've never understood why black women as a collective have to be held to a different standard or different rules than anybody else. It's like black women are expected to do things that no other group of women are expected to, or to put up with things that no other group of women are supposed to put up with. And that's because I'm just sick and tired of the BS that black women are being subjected to.
I am too. I agree with you 100%. What would you have to say about this, Omni? Welcome.
Hey, Omega.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. Hi, guys. So a couple of things. As you all know, so I'm a journalist by trade. These are what my degrees are in. So I get very in um, analyzing side of things. So much so that a lot of times I don't enjoy what I am partaking in or witnessing. So I want to go back to going.
Uh-oh, she's going in and out.
Yes, she is.
Omega Courtney, are you still there?
Well, Diamond Princess, I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm here.
let you go, and I'll be back in the chat listening to you and Courtney Omega. Thanks for taking my call as always. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. You have a nice day.
Oh, you too. I'll be back in the chat.
All right.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay.
It's just that we thought.
Perfect.
It's just that, yeah, we thought we lost you.
A couple of things I did want to point out. First and foremost, as far as with colorism in the music industry or the business, this is something that is very near and dear to my heart because I was a publicist and a booking agent for about a decade. And the things that I witnessed and even not just witness but also experience in the business were so, I think they honestly were life-changing. Growing up, because I had a very light mother. My father was dark skinned, but I had a very light skinned mother. I knew I wasn't my mother's complexion, so I never.
Uh-oh. Here we go again. I know her signal is very, very bad. I hope she's okay. Come on, people. If you guys are watching this, please get them likes up and subscribe too. I would like to have subscribers on my channel so you can get notified when I get my. Oh, your Wi-Fi went down. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But I want people to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And I would like to you guys to get notifications when I do post my videos, because there's a lot of interesting topics that I have for 2020, and I want you guys to be a part of my video chats when I start posting my videos. So please get the likes up and subscribe to this channel so you guys can get notifications. Okay, so the link is still up, you guys. If you guys want to join the chat, you're more than welcome. Or there's the number you can call in as well too. That Omega Courtney.
I'm so sorry. You know, my like I said, this area is just they gotta figure my internet out. They gotta figure my Wi-Fi out. But yeah, you know, I didn't realize that there was so much colorism and there was so many issues, honestly, until I entered the entertainment industry. And I was just a publicist, mind you. I wasn't an artist. I wasn't, you know, someone trying to be promoted. I was a publicist. I was just working with the different talent. And what would eventually start to happen is, you know, people would start to say, oh, you're really smart. You should write for this person or that person. And I would be like, why are they telling you to write for this person or that person? And they're not trying to push me. And also too, just telling a little bit of, you know, my background and my business. So spilling a little tea. There was a rapper that I was intimate with. Like, you know, we were intimate a lot. And
I remember you talking about him.
Right. And you asked me if you would know him, you would. So at any rate, he had a little comeback, you know, and this was during the time where we were, you know, being intimate. And he went and he shot this whole video. I didn't know about it. And then the video came out and it was a lot of light-skinned chicks in it. A lot of chicks that, you know, just they weren't like me. And I'm not saying that to be facetious, but when I say they were dumb. They were like dumb, like they were like really like, you know, of the element chicks. I don't say ghetto, I don't say ratchet, but I just say of the element. They were of the element chicks. They look like, you know, they smoke. They look like, you know, whatever. They like getting high, that sort of thing. And I remember when this song broke, it was pretty big. And I was in Philly at the time, and it was pretty big. And they had like a little party, you know, at the studio about it. And so, you know, I went to the little party, and I was just like, you know, just kind of sitting there. And I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't the last time that we saw each other, but I remember just knowing that we were on borrowed time. And to this day, he still reaches out and he's like, hey, let's try to get back together. And I'm like, bruh, like never, because you wouldn't even put me on when I was in my, like, you know, and not to say I'm not cute now, but you know, back then, like I was really feeling myself, you know, and I'm like, he had a real opportunity to promote me, and he wouldn't. And I mean, we used to kick it. Like I said, we were just like being intimate, like we would just be sitting around,
and the
you know,
reason
whatever.
Why is because they didn't do that back in the days. Because even if he wanted to, they did not want to see Black women being elevated in the music video.
I knew that. But the thing of it is that he was in a position where he was I know he could have, you know, it wouldn't have been hard for him to have me involved some type of way. You know, what would usually end up happening is for guys that wanted me, the artists were like, they weren't really whatever, but managers always wanted me around. Like, you know, that's who I got the most that's who the relationships really were built with, a lot of the managers. And it was like that. Now with him, it was different. I never had contact with his manager. It was always just directly with him. But with other artists that I worked with, like David Banner, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Nelly.
I know who David Banner is.
Right. So, well, his manager at the time was a guy named Scott, and Scott and I were very, you know, he was very kind, very nice. Yin Yang Twins. I was really, tight with their manager at the time. Ludacris's manager, which was Greg, I was really tight with him. Managers really liked me because they saw that I wasn't just like a chick trying to get with the artist, and so I always had a really good rapport with the managers. But with this particular artist that I was, seeing at the time, it was directly with him. But that was the first time where I realized how strong colorism was in the industry, because here we were, and I'm talking about, like I said, we used to chill. We weren't just always just like being intimate and whatever. We used to chill. We used to watch like all of these kind of like weird little movies and, the dinners, what have you, were always really cool. We had a nice, like, intimate relationship beyond just being intimate. And so the fact that he really felt like he couldn't tell me, or the fact that he felt like, the fact that he felt like he really couldn't do anything about it, like he couldn't have me involved, and we were always having this conversation. He was like, "Oh, you're really smart, da 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 da." Like we kicked it. So, but I was like young. Like I said, I was younger. I was in my 20s then. So that was like the first thing that I thought of when your conversation started tonight. The second thing that I wanted to address in regards to the funding the police officers. Listen, so of course, as you all know, I moved, so I had to come off of, literally everything that I was on in Miami. And so one of the things that I was on that I really did enjoy being a part of was the Law Enforcement Oversight Board. It's called the Civilian Investigative Panel. And I was on this panel for as long as I was a council member. So I actually was on both of these very impactful, significant community organized boards simultaneously. And I enjoyed really being a part of that panel because it did provide an opportunity to see on both sides these issues of indifferences as well as the developing relationships. So what I saw from a main complaint from officers is in regards to, there's already just a stigma. And my nephew is an officer. So my nephew is a police officer in Atlanta. My ex-husband is a lawyer. So, it just really created an interesting, I think, dynamic for the way I perceive things and what my perspective is. And I do not think it's a realistic assessment of defunding officers, only because people don't realize that on the other side of that, they already feel like community is against them. And so to them, that's just going to justify a whole lot of poor decisions that they make naturally, and they are getting paid. So imagine, they're getting paid less and they're working still the same amount of hours. It's not going to be pretty. And I do agree with you in regards to the fact that what you said about it not being pretty, particularly for Black women, where there's a lot of crime that is just not even reported because of the fear of pushback from community members. And when you're talking about communities where 60% of these communities are led by, single moms, grandmothers, very ugly. And I just think that we should do a whole lot more consideration before we push for that. But again, I do think that is because this narrative is being hijacked because people don't want anyone talking about reparations. And, I did a video about this and I'm sticking with that. And yeah, I heard what you said in regards to saying that if we don't have it now, we won't never get it. But I think that's the reason. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. First of all, we had it. So we just need to get it back. But the reason why we keep losing the forward moving conversation is because every time we get some attention on the plight of Black people, the narrative is hijacked. It was originally hijacked.
Here's the thing, Courtney. Yes, we had it, reparations back in the day, but it was taken from us when Jim Crow came into play.
Correct.
But But here's the thing: we shouldn't have been fighting for it to get it back, but we didn't because we were too afraid of the backlash with the KKK and
Correct.
whatever white nationalists were out there. But here's the thing: let's say that Black people do get reparations, and we do get, let's say we get free schooling. Did you know that other people, other races of people will jump on that bandwagon and say, oh, I have Black ancestry. I'm Black. My family were slaves back
I
then.
have, so to answer that,
They're doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing they did with Native Americans when they jump on that
the $5 Indian. So I've been working.
Yes.
I've been working. That was one of the bigger things that I was going to announce, and I'm still going to announce it. It's just that it's not completed yet. But I've been working on some resolution. As you know, I come from a background of politics. My grandmother was a mayor. I served on a council, so my ex-husband being a lawyer, I served on a council with another lawyer. So I've been working on some resolution and just looking at the right time to present it. Fortunately, I say fortunately because the move that had to be made or that was made was very much significant and impactful for my family. But I did not get the opportunity to kind of continue to build up this support or this network around this resolution. But no, I definitely have created, I'm definitely finalizing something that will speak to that, something that wasn't done when it was the $5 Indian. What they were able to do was pay. They were able to pay to be put on these scribes. This resolution would make that impossible. It would make it impossible to be able to trick the system, so to speak. But again, no pun intended. I think with the reparations narrative, we've got to, no pun intended, and no disrespect to George Floyd or his family, but we've got to keep our pressure on pivotal points right now. I think that this is no way a coincidence that this is happening at this point in time. I do think that there is some traction. That's why I think it's such an intense movement to divide people against protesting. And it's such an intense effort also to divide the generations, because if we can really unite on this very significant resolution, it changes the entire system of systemic racism. It does. It's like, I love what the sister said about Monopoly. Just imagine in 400 rounds of Monopoly, you weren't given any money and you weren't able to make any purchases. Now, all of a sudden, in one swoop, you're given what was held back to you for 400 years. Wow. No one's ready for that. And I'm not saying that it will be monetary, but I do think that reparations is a reality. And that's why we really need to be uniting and seeking networks to organize what will be the specific ask. Not saying it will be monetary, but
look at
ask needs to be.
But look at this, Normani. Look what happened after World War II. The Jews got reparations. The Japanese got reparations.
Mm-hmm.
But what did Black folks get their reparations after slavery? Did we get reparations?
I mean, we got it. We got our 40 acres and a mule, but like you said, it got rescinded. We got it. Just got rescinded. But
and they chose other people that has not been on this land for that long. They gave them reparations. But here's what I don't get: like, why do the United States have to give the Jews reparations when Germany shouldn't have done that?
Well, I think that this has really got to become down to us sticking to our question. We got to put blinders on. We got to look straight forward. I'm not looking at the side. I'm not looking at what happened to the Indians. I'm not looking over here. I'm not looking at what happened with Jews and what happened with Normandy and what happened with the Japanese and internment camps. I'm looking straight ahead at what that would mean for us, period. Because even, I was watching, I forget his name, but he did a really good commentary. He broke it down by the numbers. It was so fire, Diamond. When I tell you, I've got to send you this link. And he was just saying, he just broke it down by the numbers, just saying if you know someone 62, if you know someone 56, if you know someone 45, if you know someone 33, if you know someone if you know someone of all of these ages, then you know someone that has experienced, this. Like he broke it down. It was really good. It was magnificent. But then he was talking about how we've got to. You said what?
Here's what I was thinking. There should be a law that protects Black women from attacks. Like, you know how, we don't have protection from, the police and Black men. Well, the police to a certain extent. Black men to a certain extent, but not always. We don't have that protection like that. And, give us protection against the entertainment industry, because there's a lot of Black women that are being attacked just because of their look, just the way they look, and being denied feminine roles. And I don't know if you heard of Normani. You heard of Normani before, haven't you?
Yeah, I was talking about her in the chat.
Yeah. I want to know if you remember, because I see you saying cancel Camilla.
Yeah.
Right there. And because, Normani, when she was getting interviewed by this interviewer about Camila Cabello being quirky, she was getting a lot of backlash from her fans, and that's something that she never deserved.
Yeah, I didn't know about the comments that Normani made. I just know about the comments that Camila had made, and like you said, it was the same type of racism and same type of just sensationalism of the differences and the divisiveness that 3LW put towards Notori. So yeah, I'm very familiar. Like I said, my background being in being a publicist and
I remember Notori. I remember Notori. I remember Notori coming out like a long ago when she had this problem with 3LW, because she said it when she was interviewed by Wendy Williams, that she got into it with one of her bandmates over, her not wanting to be that ghetto chick or hood chick or whatever. And they started treating her differently because of that, because she doesn't want to, play that role. Because they got the Latina, they had the
Latina, they had the light skin, the mixed girl, and they had the Black girl. And yeah, they all had to have like their different personalities. And that's why I said, like, I've seen it. Yeah. I've literally, I've sat in talent shows, I've sat in board meetings, I've sat in A&R meetings where they literally were telling an artist, hey, you need to be this way because this is how you look, regardless of what that artist's background was. They were telling them, hey, you got to be this way because it's how you look. But again, that's why I said, back to, because this is what happens, Well, back to the reparations comment. That's what I said. We've got to stop letting it being hijacked, because What happens is when you it's like what Malcolm said, when you let someone else, when you let the media control or tell you what the issues are, you always end up on the wrong side. And I think for so long, especially in the entertainment industry, the artists, I'm a content creator as well, you are as well, but you go into it, like, let's say YouTube comes in and they say, hey, we like your channel, but we just really think we could really partner with you and can see a future in promoting you more if you just did this. And you're like, well, I want to be recommended more. I want to grow my channel. I want to work with them because this is their platform. So maybe let me just change this up. And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, I'm not holding, I'm not saying this to shame anybody, but I promise you, when they really have that money in front of you and they really present you with that opportunity, it's not too many people that just are going to be like, nah, I'm going to stand on principles here. And I've seen it with my own eyes, like just time and time again. And you know what, I'm going to say this, and this may sound ugly, this may sound whatever, but anybody in the industry, like, sorry, Diamond, I don't feel sorry for them because you make those choices. You do. You do. You just make those choices. So I can't, at the end of the day, I cannot, because I know it. I've seen it. I can't feel sorry for these people that, they suffer through this, because this is just the reality. It is their game. There's a really good book called, Building Hollywood, I want to say, when I think of if that's the right title, but it's just talking about really like how Hollywood got created, and it got created to promote Jewish people. That's why Jewish people run Hollywood, because that's who created it. So, it was kind of like when Jada Pinkett made the whole spiel about Oscar so white. It's like, you really can't be mad at an industry that, that's how you get your fame. That's how you get your bread and butter. The same thing with the NFL, the NBA, well, not so much Major League Basketball, because we don't have too many African American that go into that. But the same thing, the whole protesting against the NFL and protesting against the NBA. I just kind of grew out of it because I loved sports growing up. I absolutely loved sports growing up, and I just kind of grew out of it. So when everything happened with Colin Kaepernick, that was really like, okay, it's time for me to stop. But I had really stopped watching ever since Mike Vick and the whole thing that happened with him. I had honestly just stopped, being in love with it. And like I said, I grew out of it. So, but I really don't have any sympathy, empathy for people that complain about the industry that they're in, and they're a part of like the BS, like Ari Lennox, I love her. But I'm just like, we just need to be focusing more on creating our own, as opposed to saying, hey, accept us and accept our plight and appreciate the fact that this is racism and colorism and all that good stuff. Because we know that's what it is.
Here's the thing.
Obviously not.
Here's the thing. When you don't have, your own label that you can go to that has Black people that do support Black artists, because there are Black people that do want to make it in the industry, entertainment industry, because they want that success and they dreamed in their childhood that they want to, become actors. They want to become this singer. And to be honest with you, that the only way they can do that is to go to Hollywood, to get to Hollywood. So to say that, you don't feel sorry for them, I can't, necessarily, agree with you on that one, because there are people that do want to make it. There are people that do, want to get out of the situation that they're in. They do want to take care of their families and do want to live that lifestyle.
We all do, but there are choices.
Because, Black,
there are choices. Diamond, there are choices.
Yeah,
I mean,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing, Courtney. When you don't have a Black Hollywood that, like, back in the day, Dorothy Dandridge was around when she did Carmen Jones, which that was a success. I love Carmen Jones. But when you don't have Black Hollywood and everybody's transitioning into mainstream, you have no other options. Because look at Beyonce. People don't even know this, but Beyonce was told that she was not going to make it in the industry because of the music that she put out. And she proved people wrong. She became a mega superstar. She became the person that she is today. Yeah, she still faces, I don't know about colorism, but she still faces racism because she's a Black woman. It doesn't matter where you go to be a sales representative. You can be a McDonald's drive-through employee. You are going to face racism no matter where you work, no matter where you go, it's going to be there. So just to say, we feel sorry, I just can't agree with you on that one.
This would be, I mean, I hear you. Trust me, I do. But this would be like the equivalent, honestly. Okay, let me put it this way, because this is real life. This is real truth. So I used to work for the city of Miami, and I did a newsletter. I put out a newsletter prior to me ever working for the city of Miami. And the newsletter, it featured, it was truth, it was a media that I controlled. And I didn't publish it, but I looked up some numbers in regards to, in my particular community, how many people locally went to church. Now, that may not seem like a big deal, but to the city, and specifically to the commissioner that I work for in regards to the city, he got wind of it, right? Of this particular article that I was going to put out. And he basically told my director of the department that I was working for in the city to talk to me about this newsletter. Now, mind you, I do this newsletter not at work. I do this newsletter. I did it prior to me ever working for the city of Miami. And I did it, independently. I didn't feature any quotes from anybody that I worked with or anything like that. It was just statistics, it was numbers, and it was truth. Now, when my boss came to me, when my director came to me and said, hey, why don't put this, what are you doing with this? You can't put this type of stuff out. This makes, this makes the commissioner look bad, because people read this newsletter from his community and they know that you work for the commissioner. So what you think I did? Did I put it out? No, I didn't put it out. So that's why I said, when I'm giving you this real, I'm giving you real what happens. I sold out that issue because I was making $70,000 with the city of Miami. That's my choice. That's why I said I don't feel bad. These people are making choices to do what they're doing. They're making choices. Does it
But here's what I'm
upset
saying,
me that
Courtney. You can't say you can't say that you don't feel bad. If that's the case, you might as well you say you don't feel bad for the employees that's working 9 to 5 and are trying to put food on the table for their families, and they're going to work and they're facing racism at their job.
No, Diamond, do not do that. That's splitting hairs. Those are two totally different things.
No,
These
it's
are
not,
totally two
because
different things. Yes, it is.
They're
Because
working to feed, they're working to feed their family.
Let's talk about literally. Wait a minute, Diamond. Let's talk about the literal definition of working a 9 to 5 and choosing to be a celebrity. Like these are two totally different. These are two totally different decisions. They're two totally different realities.
But you cannot say that these celebrities are not, working hard to get where they at, trying to have their children,
trying to be celebrities,
to have a certain lifestyle.
But they're trying to be celebrities.
But at the same time, you can't say that you feel sorry for them just because they're trying to establish, wealth into their families.
No. I mean, they're trying to display their talent. I get that. I like to sing. I like to do some things too. But I'm telling you, everybody, and like I said, I'm telling you not to shame anybody or shade anybody, but everybody. And I'm telling you, anybody that you can imagine, anybody in the industry has made a decision to put certain things a priority in order to make it in the business. And I'm going to say that as tactfully as I can, to just tell you that somebody has had to do something with someone that they may not have wanted to do, but because it was going to help with their career. And that's a choice that they make.
Mm-hmm.
That's a choice that they make to stay in the business, to stay.
Like what you referring to?
To stay active, to stay out there, to stay engaged, to get a part.
What are you referring to? Like, what do you mean they have to do certain things to stay?
They have to, whether it may be to go on a date with someone, it may be to, allow someone to, I've seen the full gamut. I have. That's, remember when Vanessa Williams, when she had her crown taken away from her, and everyone was, very it was
I was a baby, so I don't know. I was a baby.
Okay. So what happened was Vanessa Williams, she was the first African American to win Miss America. And
I love Vanessa Williams, by the way.
Okay. She had to give her crown back because some pictures surfaced of some pictures that she did with another woman, some nude pictures. And I remember, I think you were a baby, but I was 6. I think I was 6 at the time. I was 5 or 6. And, I didn't understand the concept of nude pictures. And so I just remember just asking my mom, like, what do you mean nude? And they were like, what you look like in the bathtub. So imagine my whole adolescence, middle school, what have you, high school, I grew up thinking somebody took pictures of her in the bathtub without her permission. That's, in my head, that's what that meant. But when I saw those pictures, her tongue was close to the lady's vagina. Her boob was in the lady's mouth. Girl, I'm like, what? This is not what I thought. These were not.
But there's also new photos, coming out with these women doing crazy. Just like Bella Thorne, she was a Disney Channel.
Yeah, I know Bella Thorne. Yeah, she was on a dance show they used to have, the Camp Rock, something like that.
Shake It Up. No, shake it up.
Shake it off? Okay.
Shake it up.
Shake it up.
Yeah, and there was not too long ago, I think it was 2018, where there was new photos of her leak, and you can see them. I don't know if they still got them on Google, but when I googled it, to me, she just looked like a normal girl with breast, you know. And I was like, what is so shocking, you know, for her? Like somebody leaked those, those photos because it was private. But to me, I was like, this is nothing to me. How is this shocking?
Well,
She's
I
just,
saw some of those. Some of those
uh-huh.
I saw some of those where she was just regular, but some of those she had them legs spread, they was bust open. I think it was for with a boyfriend. I think it was an ex of hers, and I think that that's who she took the pictures for. I don't think he leaked them, but that's who she took the pictures for. But no, these Vanessa Williams pictures weren't no. I got caught, and they were just pictures for someone. They were coached, they were poses, but they were very pornographic. They were not artistic. So I say that to say this. Like I said, I'm not saying this to shame or shade anybody particularly, but I'm just saying that I know for a fact that a lot of people just make those choices. I can tell you that also, just personally, I was in a couple of situations where, because I used to model, I was in a couple of situations where, just kind of things went real left, and it was like, and I did have to reevaluate, well, what am I doing here? Let me get my clothes and just get out of here, you know. So and I was in my 20s, I wasn't a teenager, but there is a point where it's like you make these decisions. Because I remember one time it was this one guy, and it really hurt me, and I shouldn't even have done the photo shoot. But when I had come, because I came a little bit early, so I had come early, and he was with like two other girls. He was photographing two other models, and they were light skinned. One was biracial. One was, I think, might have been just really light. She wasn't mixed, but they were really, really light girls. And so he was like, well, I was in the bathroom getting dressed. I heard him talking to them, and he was just like, I really don't want to do pictures of her. I'd rather continue doing them of you guys, but she paid for her shoot, so I'm going to do this photo shoot. And I just remember being so hurt, like it really hurt. And so, but I got dressed and I came out, and the girls were wrapped up, and they were leaving. And after the photo shoot, he like really he tried to get me to stay, like to sleep with him. Like he was like, it was, I forget what he was trying to sell me on, but he was basically saying, I think it was the timing of when the photos were going to be back. He was like, well, I could, put a rush on it and put them and get them out. I could do something like that for you. And he was like, and the buses are running, so you can sleep here tonight, and we could go get those done for you in the morning. Don't you know, I never got those photos. I honestly never did. I got out of there. I left that night. I never got those photos. I was just like, you can keep them photos, because I just didn't know what else was going to come of that. But the reason why I literally did it, and I can definitely, I say this now, because like I say, I'm being accountable. I'm not going to lie or hold back. But one of the main reasons why I didn't spend any more time with him that night was because of what he had said, what I heard him say to the girls earlier. It wasn't because I was so, like, I was so moralistic. Because I did want the shots. Like, they were really good shots. And I never got those photos. And paid for the session and all. Never got those photos. And like I said, I didn't go back, or I didn't keep bothering him about the photos just because of what I had heard him say. But yeah, and it was really odd because I was just like, here you were telling the girls that you didn't want to, even take my picture, and now you want to sleep with me for me to get these pictures. So the whole game of that is it's very silly. And you just do not, I'm going to tell you, I was in the business for 10, 15 years. You don't need a lot of just straight up good people. You don't. And if you're going into the business, Diamond Princess, full well there aren't a lot of straight up good people. The entertainment industry is full of
speaking on
pedophiles.
Well, speaking on linking new photos, there's also people leaking to other people's accounts, exposing people for tweeting racist comments like Leah Michelle, Camila Cabello, and some other stuff that I cannot name at this point. They has been exposed for saying dumbest stuff, especially to Black women. And Leah Michelle, have you ever seen Glee? She was on Glee.
Yeah, I know Leah Michelle.
And she told the Black girl, "I will spit in your wig" or something, or shit in your wig. And that was very inappropriate for what she said. I'm glad that she's getting called out for that. And Camila Cabello, I'm glad she's getting exposed for her racist comments, because she shouldn't have never said what she said about talking about Normani and other Black women. And then she's gonna come out. These apologies are so fake.
Oh,
they're so fake. They're not. Yeah, they're not sincere. And this goes back to Gilbert. And he was talking about, Lupita Nyongo bracing the cover as the most beautiful girl or most beautiful woman in the world or whatever. He comes out of his cave to say that this woman is unattractive.
Yeah, I remember.
And it's like, you came out of the woodworks. You have to drop your basketball for a second, pick up a phone, and say that Lupita Nyongo is ugly. Like, dude,
I remember.
You shouldn't have, kept playing with all, dude. Whatever you had to say about Lupita, you should have kept that for yourself. And he apologized a few. It's been like a few years later from the day, and now he's apologizing. And I, in my opinion, he should have apologized a long time ago when he sent out that tweet. And now when everything is getting uncovered, everybody's getting exposed, he's coming out now saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, Lupita. I didn't mean to say this and that." It's like, it's too late, dude. You should have apologized when you said that. Nobody asked you to come out of woodwork to speak on her. And Lupita Nyongo is a very attractive woman. She is.
I agree.
But when she was chose to be the most beautiful woman in the world, people lost their shit. Because she's the new standard of beauty for dark-skinned Black women.
Amen. Yeah, I've always loved her. I've always loved her. First time I saw her.
I like her. 12 Years a Slave when I first saw her. 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, same for me. That was the first time I saw her.
Yeah, 12 Years a Slave. And then, what's the other movie She played in different movies. Black Panther was one of them. She's a great actress. She can act her butt off.
I agree. I
But
love her.
for people to come out and and clown on this woman, that is the lowest, most disrespectful thing that you can ever do. Gilbert Arenas, he is known for hating on black women. Like, dude, like you girls are dark skinned. He has a non-black woman, but his daughters came out dark skinned. I seen a picture of them, and you have a nerve to come out and tell Lupita Nyongo that she's unattractive. How is that you sending a message to your daughter saying that your daughters are unattractive? Like, come on, dude. Like, make it make sense.
Well, that's
And these
like,
black men,
plenty of them. Lil Wayne. Yeah, black men. I think there's some real hypocrisy there. Real hypocrisy. I think Lil Wayne is one of them, and um, there are a couple of others that I said, even with, like, I think it's very odd, even with, Kevin Hart, who's of course from, my hometown, or one of my fondest cities ever, Philadelphia. That's just a very weird thing. Dwayne Wade and his sons, LeBron James and his sons, Ricky Smiley and his sons. This is just very evident with the type of women that these men are with. But
and you know why? Because they learned this from their fathers.
Yeah, that's why I said it comes back and doesn't come out in the rinse, comes out in the wash. That was an old saying, but it's unfortunate. My father, even though he and my mother, of course, were married, all of my mom's, all of my life, they were married. My mom, he was my mom's second husband, and my mom, she passed away, transitioned when I was still in my teens. And my dad, he got remarried, and he remarried a woman that's not black, and it's very odd, because we were definitely taught to to marry our own and to love our own. So that was odd. And the same thing with my ex-husband. We're divorced, and he remarried someone that's not black. So it's a very odd phenomenon. Frederick Douglass, the same thing. It's a very odd phenomenon. Very odd. I just had to get to the point where I stopped asking about it. I just got to the point where I just stopped.
Yeah.
I just stopped questioning it.
Here's the thing. Like, you cannot question, a bunch of men that hate themselves, don't like themselves, and ask them, why do you hate black women? It's obvious.
Right.
It's very
but what's
obvious
interesting
that,
is that
they don't like themselves.
I used to ask a mentor, why is it that black women and black men came through the same, system, right? We came through the same issue. Why is it that black women have so much loyalty, but black men don't? And so I got to the point where I actually just said, you know what? We aren't supposed to. I mean, we aren't supposed to. They aren't supposed to. I think that, remember when Nick Cannon and Rizza Islam had that conversation? And he was saying, well, Rizza was basically saying, well, because the black man, his DNA is so powerful, he controls, or he makes, these races anyway. And so Nick was like, okay, so if that's the case and we're going to all end up one race, I'm just doing my part to help it along, or something he said to that effect. It was something like that. And everyone was really hating on it. Huh?
Like, I don't understand. Like, he said he was helping along.
He was helping it along because basically that's what's going to happen. That everybody's going to end up on rape. Huh?
Well, he married Mariah Carey. He married Mariah Carey, who is half black.
He has another.
I don't know why he's helping. He's helping along if he had children with Mariah Carey, who is half black.
Half black, but
yes.
Same thing. He has another child with I think another biracial woman. And he said that both of his children's mothers consider themselves African American. And I'm just like, bruh, I ain't never heard Mariah Carey say that, but I'm gonna let him tell that lie. But anyway.
No, she did. No, she did. She called herself black. She called herself a black woman. She has.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get that sound clip, Lord. Because I know for a while
you have to look it up.
Yes, please. Because she was pulling the Tiger Woods for a while. But I will say this. That what Nick Cannon said, it literally confirms something that I had been saying for years. I said black men are doing it because that's what they're supposed to do. And I just think that for many years, us black women, we've been fighting it. But black men are doing what they're supposed to do. I had said that years before Nick Cannon ever said that. It wasn't something that I just out in. Because it's still I feel that it definitely is still like a pinch when you do find out that they're a real fine brother or whatever does go that route, it is a pinch. But I had said that years ago. I said black men are doing it because that's what they're supposed to do. That's the only thing I could really come to a conclusion with. And I said, and black women just fighting it.
As a black woman, I think black women should explore their options too. Because you do not want to sit around and be loyal to a group of men that are dating out and they're not choosing you. You need to go where you're appreciated. If another guy comes to you and he tells you that he likes you and he wants to be with you, that is something considered that he appreciate you for who you are as a person. I guess her internet is buffing. Oh, there you are. I thought I lost you.
Yeah, but I think that I'm on the end. So I think you're right. I think that it is going to buffer out. We've had a good run, though. No, this was such a great conversation, Diamond. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for always, being so gracious with your platform. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for supporting my live troubles earlier. I'm going to try to go back on it'll be 6 o'clock my time, so I guess 3 o'clock your time. I'm going to try again.
Yeah.
I think now I got the problem fixed, so we'll see. But I'm going to bid you a farewell, a good night. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Omega Courtney.
And y'all know what to do. Yes, grow the glow, join up, and let's continue to have these really meaningful conversations. I just love that we can actually really discuss, because I tell you, a lot of channels, you don't get that opportunity. That's what I was saying literally tonight, with agreeing with what Art was saying with the conversation with Mr. Leigh. I definitely agree. A lot of these channels, you just do not. It's just a lot of fussing. But I love these opportunities where we can really discuss. We can hear each other. We can share. That really is a blessing. So I thank you again for having such a platform that welcomes that.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna end with this quick note for Black women. Black women, it's our job to lift each other up and build our own self-esteem within ourselves, because no other person is going to do it for us. If we respect ourselves and we love ourselves and we appreciate ourselves, then other people will appreciate us as well. But you know, we got to have a lot of respect for ourselves not to put up with certain things. We would not put up with the bullshit that is going on in our communities. We will not put up the bullshit that's going on with our jobs. We are not going to put up with the bullshit anywhere in this world, and we're going to have to let that be known. So at the end of the day, we are going to have to love ourselves from within and appreciate ourselves from within for other people to see we we are, well, our lives are valuable and we do take ourselves seriously, because we're out there in the protest lines and we protesting for, men, and we're the ones are in the front lines. We're getting the beat downs. We're getting, killed out there, and that is not supposed to happen. Our men are supposed to be in the front lines. Because if you look at other community of men, there are leaders in their community. When they protest, who do you see in the front lines? You see the men in the front lines. You don't see the women in the front lines, and you don't see them bringing their children to their protests. So as Black women, please stay at home. This is not our fight. We should not fight for men that do not appreciate us at the end of the day, because this happens time and time again, that these men talk down on us. They kill us on a daily basis, and we don't even get a thank you at the end of the day. So as Black women, love yourself. Go in the mirror and tell yourself, I love myself. I appreciate myself. I love what I do every day. I'm not going to let nobody bring me down because of the color of my skin and that I am a woman. At the end of the day, I'm going to do me. And I don't have to fight for nobody but myself. So at the end of that note, like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.